welcome to all of you for joining today's demo session on Oracle Fusion offered by TrioTech Software Trainings. I am Sujit Kumar, Oracle Fusion Supply Chain Management Trainer. Okay. So what is Fusion ERP? We already have so many ERP in the market, right? But what is special about Fusion? First, let us get some introduction to get an idea. Okay. There are many ERP in the market. Okay. But most of the ERP are on-premise based ERPs. Okay. Now, whereas Oracle Fusion, if we talk about Oracle Fusion, okay, it's a cloud-based ERP. Now, this is the important one which we need to understand. When we say Oracle Fusion cloud-based, okay, infrastructure is hosted. Infrastructure is hosted on the cloud. Okay. This is the first one. Whereas in on-premise, each company had to maintain their infrastructure. When we say infrastructure, that includes configuration of servers, maintenance of servers, maintenance of applications, These three things come to our mind. So usually whenever we say on-premise, these are the things which the company will be doing. They will maintain their own infrastructure and they need to have people called as administrator. They can be called as database administrator or simply administrators who has to maintain this. That means someone has to be there first to configure the server. Then whenever maintenance is required, they have to maintain the server and maintenance of application. When we say maintenance of application, whenever any ERP application is running, okay, they have to keep on upgrading. There might be some bugs for which they would have received a new update. So they have to make an update on the application. They have to apply the patch. When we say maintenance of application, that denotes applying of patches. Okay. Or maybe applying of new features. Okay. This is one part of maintaining the application. Next is cloning. We want to take multiple instances. So cloning is also one of the activity. So this is what we call as on-premise. Whereas in Fusion, it's cloud-based ERP. Why it is becoming famous? Because in cloud-based ERP, infrastructure is hosted on the cloud and managed by Oracle. That means whatever we have highlighted here, all these are maintained by Oracle themselves on the cloud. That means we don't need a separate person like database administrator within the organization. Okay, this is important. All these three are maintained on the cloud. So this is maintained on the cloud by Oracle. Configuration, maintenance, and also configuration of server, maintenance of server, and maintenance of applications. So there is no need for DBA within the organization. This is an important understanding. And another thing is, Fusion is a subscription-based model. Fusion is nothing but subscription-based model. What we call a subscription. Just imagine that we have so many providers in DTH, right? Similarly, when we say subscription-based model, whichever company is going to buy Oracle Fusion, they can decide which module they want to buy, and they will pay only for that module. Subscription-based model means pay only for the modules. Pay only for the modules which the company want to incorporate, which the company decides to incorporate as part of their business. As part of their business. So this is another important thing. This is a basic, just to give the context. Okay. So just remember this. Next, we will move on to our PPT to get more details. I'm just switching over to my PPT. What is the agenda for today's session? We are going to see about introduction to ERP. ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning, and how Oracle Fusion has evolved as an application over the years. And what is exactly Fusion application? And what is the difference between Oracle Fusion and on-premise versus cloud? See, Oracle Fusion on-premise versus cloud. Still, we are having both the mixture of on-premise versus cloud. We will see some more details. Next is how the releases are happening in Oracle Fusion. And what is the structure of Oracle Fusion? Okay. And the deployment options. Okay. Once we cover all this, we will get to know what TrioTech is offering. What are the modules we are covering as part of Oracle Fusion supply chain management? Okay. And then what are the benefits or the advantages if we choose TrioTech software trainings? So this is the agenda for today's session. So what is enterprise resource planning? Now in this audience, some people might already have an idea. You might be working on different ERP, or you are working on maybe a manufacturing industry or a pharmaceutical industry or some industry, so that you might have some idea about what is enterprise resource planning. But still we will touch upon this. ERP refers to enterprise resource planning. It's nothing but a resource planning where we are integrating multiple businesses. Whenever we take a company for an example, assume that we are talking about a company who are purchasing some material from supplier. That means definitely they will have purchase modules, correct? They will be doing some operations on the supply chain. And they will also need to pay for the supplier by creating invoice and making payments. That means they are integrating their different businesses. Their structure involves purchasing, financials, and movement. That means they are integrating different softwares. So that is a small example of enterprise resource plan. Now, if we try to elaborate, assume that the same company who is also purchasing raw material, they are also manufacturing and producing some finished good. For example, we take an oil industry. Okay, if we take an oil industry, they will purchase raw materials and they will convert those raw materials and combine with other materials, and they finally give a finished good in the form of a oil. If we take an oil like castor oil or HP, so they are producing oil like petrol, diesel, etc. Right? But how they produce? They have to get some raw material, they have to mix, and then finally they have to give the finished good as an oil, as petrol or diesel, etc. So in that case, they will also have a manufacturing facility, correct? And whenever they have a manufacturing facility, definitely they need to store the material. That means inventory will also come. When inventory is coming, they have to talk about their operations and the movement of materials and storage. So if we take this as an example, they have to connect all this: an inventory module, a manufacturing module, okay, and purchasing module, and a financial module. Okay. On top of this, the first module which comes to all of our mind is HCM, human capital management, human resources. Because any company, when they operate, they hire people, they have to register them in the organization, correct? About a joining. So human resources is also coming into effect. So when we say enterprise resource planning, it's nothing but integrating different resources. That is called as enterprise resource planning. Now, when we talk about enterprise resource planning, as we see and we know that there are multiple enterprise resource planning softwares available in the market. Here we have mentioned few things: Oracle, SAP, Salesforce, okay, and we have other things like PeopleSoft. Now, PeopleSoft is already bought by Oracle. So we have so many ERP on the market. So here we have just highlighted some of them. Now we will focus on Fusion application. What is that Fusion? Now Fusion, if we say Fusion on cloud, it's usually SaaS application, software as a service. Okay. Now if we talk about how Fusion has evolved, initially we had different ERP in the markets. How Fusion has evolved? Previously, before Fusion came, we had different ERP, right? In the market, all were on-premises, on-premise ERPs. We had Siebel. I'm just giving few examples. We had Siebel, okay, PeopleSoft, we had JD Edwards, I have just noted down few of them. Okay, Siebel, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards. Now Siebel, we know that it is famous for CRM. PeopleSoft is strong in HCM. Now JD Edwards. JD Edwards is well known for manufacturing. Okay. Now all these had been taken over by Oracle. So previously they were all individual entities. Later these were acquired by Oracle Corporation. So what happened is, after acquiring, Oracle decided that they want to build a application which should take the best of all the existing ERP modules. So Oracle came up with Oracle Fusion. Initially it was on-premise. Okay. So what Oracle did is, while building Fusion, integrated the best of best from the mentioned ERPs. Just this is not an exhaustive list. This is just a few of the list from the mentioned ERP. That means while building the Fusion, they took CRM into account, HCM into account, manufacturing into account, financials. They offer a lot of things. And apart from this, already Oracle themselves were having EBS. Oracle EBS. E-business stands for e-business suite. Business suite. So Oracle was already having an on-premise e-business suite. So they integrated all this. Oracle e-business suite was well known for financials. Okay, and already they had within Oracle e-business suite, they had multiple, we call it as supply chain management modules, SCM. SCM. In that we have purchasing, that is called as procurement. I will just put for ease understanding purchasing. Order management, we call it as OM. This is in short form called as OM. This is purchasing. Okay, and financials there, also financials. Already Oracle had this inventory management. Again, this is the short list, it's not an exhaustive list. So when the Fusion was built, they took all the best of best from this and they started building Fusion. Okay. The Fusion is nothing but Oracle Fusion is nothing but integration of these ERPs. Now, if you go to the slide, what are the other things? So Oracle Fusion applications are described as this. Built on open standards based platform. Okay. So one is integration of different ERP. Another is they have been built based on the SOA and WebLogic server. This is little technical, so I'm not going into deep, but they have been built on the open standards based platform. Okay. And this is what we just discussed. Best of best from different ERPs. Oracle e-business suite, PeopleSoft, Siebel, JD Edwards. Apart from that, they also included other modules on Fusion. Okay. And we have discussed about the integration of different ERPs to build a Fusion module. Next is deployment, how they are deploying. We just discussed if it is on-premise, everything is maintained by the company, correct? So they can configure the server, they can maintain the server. And whenever they want to apply a patch or whenever Oracle has released a patch, the database administrator can apply. Whereas when it comes to Fusion, there is a deployment model, whether it is a public, on-premise, or a private cloud or a hybrid cloud. When it is on the cloud, okay, when it is on the cloud, we had clearly seen that everything is maintained and hosted on the cloud by Oracle. Okay, this is pure cloud. Okay, and in that also, public and private cloud is available. Public cloud means we are given an URL. Simply we can log into, anyone can log into that URL. That is public cloud. Private means we need to have certain application to log into the cloud. Probably assume that the company had purchased a Fusion Cloud ERP. Okay. Now, I'm just going to give some example. Okay. You see, there is an URL. I am just giving an example. This is one URL. This is, I would say it's a public cloud URL. Okay. Means it's accessible by all. Okay. Assume that there is another URL purchased by a company, private. Okay. that URL might be slightly different. Instead, I will just mention here. This is public URL. If it is a private cloud, I'll mention some other URL. Okay. HTTPS. This is just for understanding. Okay. FE dot. I just mentioned two URLs. Okay. One is public cloud, private cloud. Assume that we have received a public cloud URL. Okay. I just copy, open a new browser window. Simply paste the URL. The moment I paste the URL, I'm getting some login screen. Correct? This is a public cloud URL which just needs a browser and the internet connectivity. And once we have a credential to log in, we can log into this. This is a public cloud. Now, what is private cloud? Assume that there is another URL. It might not allow us to log in. Okay, I'm just trying. Assume that this is a private cloud URL. Now, why it's not allowing? Because the company were purchased the Fusion, Cloud Fusion from Oracle. They want to restrict this for only their use. In that case, they might have made it as a private cloud. So you need to have some tools, additional tools like a VPN, virtual private network. So only when we have virtual private network of that company, they will allow access to this. This is a private cloud. Okay, this is not applicable for everyone. Okay. Next is when we discuss about cloud-based and this one. So what we need when we go for a cloud-based Oracle Fusion, we just need an URL. Okay, we just need an URL and a credential should exist on the URL. Basic necessities is an internet connectivity and a browser. That's all we need in Oracle Fusion Cloud. Okay. Now let us switch over to this one. So we have seen what is private cloud and public cloud. What is the difference between on-premise and hybrid? On-premise, I'm just going to give some background on on-premise. Okay, and hybrid and pure cloud. Okay. Now on-premise means we have seen infrastructure maintained by the company. Maintained by the company who purchased the ERP. Okay, that means all modules. I'm just taking some example. Assume that we have inventory module, purchasing module, okay, and financials. Fine. Now in this on-premise, company is maintaining all the infrastructure plus company are having everything on their site. Okay, this is on-premise. On-premise cloud. Now, when we talk about hybrid, there is a possibility. Hybrid is nothing but a mix of both on-premise and cloud. Hybrid means possibility of mix of on-premise plus cloud. Okay, that is what we call as hybrid. Next is pure cloud. I'm just taking the same example. Now, this is a possibility. Assume that probably financials alone, Fin, is still on another ERP, which is on-premise ERP. This is possible. On-premise, any other ERP. Okay. Whereas inventory and purchase are in Fusion. So I'm just putting Fusion inventory just to give clarity. And Fusion purchasing or Fusion purchasing. Now this is an example where we see that some of the modules are available on Fusion Cloud, whereas one of the existing module, financials, still the company want to continue with on-premise. That means material management and movement of material and material related transaction will happen on Fusion inventory. Similarly, purchasing of materials will happen on Fusion inventory, whereas through interface, these details will go into the financial module. This is an hybrid model. Okay. Next is pure cloud. When we talk about pure cloud, nothing but all the modules are in Fusion. Whichever the company has subscribed, all subscribed modules are in Fusion. Okay, it can be multiple modules. The main difference is whatever has been subscribed by the company, all are maintained in Oracle Cloud Fusion. Okay, so this is the difference. Now let us go back. So this is the difference on the deploy public cloud, private cloud, on-premise, hybrid. Now let us understand how Fusion has evolved in terms of releases. Correct. In this example, we are seeing other ERP, Oracle E-Business Suite, PeopleSoft Enterprise, JD Edwards Enterprise, JD Edwards World, and Siebel. Correct. Now, if we see, there are some numbers mentioned. That is nothing but the release number of each of the specific ERP. Now, if we come to Oracle Fusion, now in Fusion, how this is being handled. Let us go to the Excel to understand how we are handling in Oracle Fusion. Fusion releases. Okay. So how we are doing in Oracle. This is how the releases are getting impacted on Oracle Fusion. So Oracle will release new releases based on quarterly updates. Okay, this is based on quarterly updates. And the releases will happen across multiple instances. Okay, we will talk about this multiple instances. Okay, initially in 2011, okay, R1 started, release 1. Okay, then became release 2, like that. Release 3, release 4 till release 10. Okay, now all these were on premises. Okay, these were all on premises when they introduced. Just to highlight, I'm just going to use this as an example. Whatever version we are mentioned here, releases, these are called releases. These were all on premises. They were maintained on premise. Okay. Later, when they released R11, then R12, R13. Now we are at R13, release 13. All these became a cloud module. Okay. All this became pure cloud, on cloud. We can say these are all called as on cloud. Now, if we consider an R level, R12, R13, these are all called cloud mode, cloud releases. Purely on cloud. So this is how we see the release number R1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are at R13. And now we are in year 2023. Correct. And the quarterly updates. We have something called quarterly updates. So Oracle Fusion gives quarterly updates every quarter. Now the quarter is maintained is January to March. This is first quarter. Then April to June, second quarter. July to September, third quarter. And fourth quarter will be October to December. Okay. And they also give a numbering or a alphabet. They give an alphabet. Whichever release is happening in the first quarter, they call it as A. Quarter 2 release is called B. Quarter 3 is C and quarter D. Okay. Now, current release, okay, is R13, but it is 23 because we are in 2023. So, current release, we are in the February month, but release has happened. The release is 23. So, between April and June, for the next quarter, when Oracle is releasing a quarterly update, that will be called as 23B. Similarly, it will be 23C and 23D. Okay. Now, why updates or releases are happening? Okay. There can be two reasons, two major reasons why we are getting quarterly updates or new releases. Reasons or releases. Major releases. Right now we are in 23. There are many customers around the world who are using Oracle Fusion. So while doing some of these scenarios, they might have encountered a bug. There is possible reasons. They might have encountered reason 1, they might have entered a bug. Okay, or we call it as an error. Okay. The next possible reason is while using the system, the clients might think of some new feature which is not available here, or they want to improve on the existing feature. Improve on the existing feature which is already available in 23. So when we say improve on the existing feature, this is called as they are looking for an enhancement. Okay, they are looking for an enhancement. Possible option 3 is looking for new feature which is not available in the release. So these are the 3 possibilities. Why Oracle Fusion is releasing new updates? To fix an error or a bug, to improve on the existing feature as requested by client, or they are introducing new features. Okay. Now let us focus on the next slide. This one is about on-premise versus cloud. This we have discussed. Someone is asking when was the first release of Fusion happened? See, Fusion is in the market long time back, as we have seen here. But Fusion is gaining importance recently because they are started up having pure cloud modules. Okay, from release level. Let us go back to the slide. This one we have discussed. What is the difference between on-premise versus cloud? Now in this also, in cloud, we have something called SaaS, software as a service. Whenever we say cloud, it is software as a service. In on-premise, we used to do personalizations. We can do n number of personalizations. Whereas in cloud, it is limited. In case if you want to do additional personalizations, we have something called PaaS, platform as a service, where when we acquire the PaaS from Oracle, we can have additional tools to create applications and services. Okay, that is called as PaaS. Apart from this, we have something called infrastructure as a service. If you want to buy additional data center and work on it, infrastructure as a service, we can have our own infrastructure. Okay. Now, once we have all this, Fusion application will be installed by Oracle for the subscribed modules. Okay. Next is this deployment. This is giving an in-depth. What is the deployment? Just now we told on-premise, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Here we can see in this slide, when it is on-premise, all are maintained by the company. Whereas if it is an IaaS, infrastructure as a service is called as IaaS. Some of them are maintained by the company. Some of them are maintained by other managers. See, the legend is whatever is appearing in this color, light green, it is we manage. Whereas whichever is in orange, someone else is managing. So in IaaS, few of the things like application data, operating system are managed by the company, whereas server, storage, and networking are managed by other company outside of this company. Similarly, if we take PaaS, only applications or data are maintained by the company who has purchased this. All others are maintained outside. Now we are talking about Oracle Fusion. Oracle Fusion is mostly called as SaaS, software as a service. Here we just subscribe to the modules, pay for the modules. All these are taken care by others. If we talk about Oracle Fusion, Oracle will manage all these things for the company who has purchased the Fusion. Now let us go into the product families. We see here procurement. If we have multiple things shown here, a financial management, a procurement, a supply chain management. So this is what we were discussing. When we talk about and human capital management, right? When we talk about human capital management, where we register people, okay, it has its own global HR and payroll and workforce management. These are all some of the modules we have highlighted for Oracle HCM, human capital. Now, since we are discussing and we want to focus on supply chain management, we will focus on procurement and SCM. See, as this says, when we say procurement, it is a combination of different modules, a purchasing module, a self-service procurement module, sourcing module, supplier module, procurement contracts. So we have multiple modules. Now self-service procurement is nothing but it is to create and negotiate, create an RFQ or a negotiation, request for quote, and negotiate with suppliers. That is called as self-service procurement. And sourcing is from where we are going to source. Okay, whether it is the same organization which is going to source or it is going to source from other. So that is coming under sourcing model. Supply portal. When we talk about supply portal, there can be two suppliers, offline and online suppliers. Whenever we have online suppliers, that means the suppliers also going to have access to Oracle Fusion. That means they will have a separate credential for them to log into Fusion. For those suppliers, we need to have supplier portal. Okay. Next is purchasing is when we talk about purchasing the material. from supplier. Apart from this, in supply chain management, we have inventory and order management and costing module. So inventory is nothing but management of materials. Okay. And product management is there. Product information management, product management. That is maintenance of item, creation of item. Okay. And we see global order promising, shipping. These are all coming in order management. Someone wants to say?
Does manufacturing comes as part of SCM only, or it's a separate?
See, manufacturing is a separate module. Okay. We have Oracle manufacturing that comes under separate module. Okay.
Okay.
So that will not come under SCM.
Okay.
But they also have manufacturing. Fusion manufacturing is available.
Earlier you were saying procurement comes as part of SCM, but here you have mentioned separately. Why?
No, here we have mentioned separately. Why? Just to give focus that procurement, when we say procurement, I want to say that procurement is also coming under SCM, but I want to say that it is internally having so many modules. Okay. In the previous Excel, I just gave an example to show only purchasing. Okay. But now we want to focus and say that when we say procurement, see, these are all just terminology. When we go outside, someone says that purchasing, Fusion purchasing, someone might say Fusion SSP. But if someone says procurement, we should understand that they ask us whether I'm a procurement consultant. Now, I need to be very clear that when I say, yes, I'm a procurement consultant, that means I worked on all these modules. Okay. So that is why we are just highlighting here procurement. Procurement internally is having all these things. Similarly, when I say supply chain management, we are saying that data management, inventory, order management is part of this along with costing. Okay. And when we say manufacturing is totally different model. Okay. Is this clear? We say Fusion manufacturing. Thank you. So now, since our focus in our training in the future classes is Oracle Fusion Supply Chain Management, we will be covering this: purchasing, self-service procurement, sourcing, supplier portal. Okay. And when it comes to supply chain management, we will also cover product data management, inventory management, costing, and this distributed order orchestration, global order promising, shipping, and receiving are part of order management. So that also we will be covering. Okay. Now, how the Fusion is built, the product family. The main thing to understand in this slide is when we talk about product families, HCM is a product family. Financial management is a product family. CRM is a product family. Procurement is a product family. Okay. And when we talk about projects, there's another module called projects. So project portfolio management. So this slide is just to get an understanding. When I say procurement as a family, it is having internally so many modules. Okay. So just that is the understanding we see from this slide. Okay. And our focus will be as a supply chain consultant, we will be focusing on procurement family, product family, and supply chain management product family. Next is we are going to talk about what are the modules we are going to offer here. Product management. Okay, that is also called as product information management. Then inventory management. The first one is about creation of item and maintenance of item, whereas inventory is movement of items, movement of materials. And we are offering self-service procurement. This is about requisition, request for quote, negotiation, how we negotiate with the supplier. Then purchasing module. We will be creating purchase orders with the supplier. Okay, that is the purchasing model. We will be creating and issuing a purchase order to the supplier, requesting for these kind of goods or services, whatever we are requesting from the supplier. The supplier portal, as I mentioned, supplier portal is for the suppliers who want to access Fusion. So we need to have supplier portal and sourcing. When we come to sourcing, we will know that what are the different sourcing activities we can perform using sourcing module. Next is order management. Order management is when we sell the material, we need to have this module. To buy a material, we will be using purchasing module. To sell a material, a finished good, maybe an example, we need to have order management so that we are selling to customers. These are the modules we'll be covering. On top of that, we will be giving an overview of the costing module. Why we need costing module? Whatever transaction we perform, whether it's under inventory, self-service procurement, purchasing, or order management. Okay. Finally, these all transactions should move and hit the costing module. Okay. So that is why we need to know understanding on the costing module. Then only all these transaction will finally hit the financial management. See, at the end, what will happen? General ledger is at the end. We say at the top. Whatever transaction we perform, finally it should hit the ledger. Okay, so that is why we need to have an understanding on costing module. So this is the understanding we are giving in today's agenda. Kumar, you would like to take over from here?
Yeah. Thank you, Satish.
Thank you. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kumar, I am Sujit.
Yeah, sorry, Sujit. Yeah. Thank you, Sujit. So, team, basically, the training time will be Monday to Friday morning, 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. And along with the live training, as we already mentioned to you, like people who have already contacted to us, we are going to provide you the video access to the course for lifetime, and also stable environment will be given to you for practicing for 5 months. And for all the modules, we are going to provide you the detailed materials with screenshots and also the interview question and answers for each of the module we are going to support with. And also we do assist with the resume preparation that all team. And we also conduct mock interviews in our institute, like whoever completed their trainings, they can participate in the mock interviews as well, so that the real-time industry experts will be taking the mocks. And during the time of training, if you have any doubts or concerns, we will be there to assist on all the aspects, team. So every module, we have our own customized materials with the navigations and screenshot. Everything will be shared to the enrolled participants, team. So you can even attend the demo session tomorrow also at the same time at 8:15 in the same meeting link. And then from Saturday, we are going to start our regular sessions. Today and tomorrow, we plan for 2 demo sessions. So whoever not yet contacted, I request everyone to please reach out to us to get more details about that program, team. So you can reach out to us in the chat that which I'm pinging. This is a number. And also, I think our admin team reached you to provide your details. So I request you to please provide your WhatsApp and email IDs to reach out to you. I'm just pinging our number to reach out for the course details further on this. So any questions as such in today's topic?
I have some questions regarding this.
Yes,
Sujit, how many days it will take for procurement to complete? Sujit?
So, are you asking only about procurement or the entire course?
I'm yeah, for procurement and general.
See, procurement, it should take around 25 hours because I am expecting 25 to 35 hours. Why? Because when you say procurement, we have clearly told that it is having a lot of things to cover, right? That means self-service procurement, purchasing, supplier portal, sourcing. So I'm expecting 25 to 35 hours. And just to give you context, I cannot start just like that procurement. We have to start with inventory management. We need to have items, right, in the system to do some transaction. Correct. So I also need to start from this, how to create an item. And before that, I need to give an idea on the structure. What is a ledger, legal entity, those kind of things. May I know the reason why you are specifically asking how much time it will take?
Actually, I have some internal company requirement. So
okay.
this I have discussed it Kumar also. So that is the
Oh,
reason.
okay.
What is the
Fine.
duration to complete the entire course, Sujit?
We are expecting 75 hours to complete the entire course.
Are you
75
going?
hours.
Are you going to
And
provide the recordings of each day, or do you have some depository so that you can share that?
see, our plan is as soon as we always record each day session, once the recording is done, Kumar and admin team will upload,
Yeah,
okay, and give the access to the recording.
yeah, right.
That is how we do. And when we say 75 hours, if we calculate it's almost 1 hour per day, it's going to be 2.5 months roughly.
And what about prerequisites? Like, I do not have any experience in business knowledge, like, product management or something. So how can I map this? Are there,
See, we need not worry. See, the advantage of Fusion is previously when it was, I'm just taking an example of Oracle e-business suite. Previously, the expectation was we should have lot of experience to understand the domain and then go to customer place and do. But now in Fusion, as we already know that it's a subscription based, in Fusion is like already provided. Customers have to adapt. So what will happen is once we go through this training, you get a foundation experience, right? Now, in case you go to any company and join as a Fusion consultant, so you will be able to pick up. You don't need to have a prior experience. So we have seen many companies, they hire people who has knowledge in Fusion, basic knowledge. So they will put you in a different training within the company, or they will put you in a shadow in a different projects for 3 to 4 months. And once you get the knowledge, what are the real things happening in the company, then you will be asked to move into another project. So to answer your question, we have seen people directly getting absorbed as a Fusion consultant just by having knowledge on the Fusion module. But it depends on which module we are focusing. Now,
See, adding on to Sujit's comment, I think Priyadarshini, your question is slightly different. I think his understanding was different. See, basically, for this particular technology, we don't require any prerequisites to learn this. I mean, you don't require any kind of technical skills like SQL or PLSQL or any kind of background or any domain-specific experience related to operations management or supply chain. Anyone from any background can understand the terminologies or the concepts that which are going to be part of this course.
thanks for the clarification, Kumar.
And
what Kumar told is right.
Practice one? Like, suppose for practicing, we need to get any access for that? How it will be? Like?
Instance will be shared to you. That is what I mentioned. Let me share my screen and let me explain you better. So first, let me show you like how the video repository will be given to you. Everyday sessions will be recorded and you will be provided with access. Once if you go to our website, we have the login here. You will be provided with your login ID and password. Once you place it here and once you log in, your course will be available here. Let me go to any student login. So you can land up on the dashboard and you can go to your enrolled courses here. And then you can have the course that which tagged to you, like whatever is your batch. And all the sessions day by day. Topic wise, we are going to mention what is that particular session is. You can click on that particular topic and you can have the watch of that session. This access will be there to you for lifetime. Once you got the user ID and password, you can change the password to the website so that it will be there privately to you. And coming to the application access, that will be provided to you for 5 months. Let me put it here. Videos will be given to you for lifetime access, and then instance for practicing the Fusion latest cloud application will be given to you for 5 months, including all materials, whatever Oracle delivered, and also the custom materials that what we have. All that will be given to you. And coming to the interview questions for the preparation for interviews also, for each and every module, we have a bunch of questions already prepared, like for each module, like 200 questions. So all question and answers will be given to you as part of the materials which we are going to provide. Okay. So these are the things you are going to get. And timings for the course will be every day, 1 hour. Morning, it will be Monday to Friday, 8:15 a.m. to 9:15 a.m.
But I
And the
heard that
duration,
I heard
And
there is a
one
class
more
on
question to
Saturday.
Sujit regarding this costing part. You mentioned the costing will be covered on top of the main core, like product management and this one.
Yes.
Will it be any accounts payable or receivable knowledge is required for that to understand the scenarios, or it will be only based on that fusion, the product management or something?
See, accounts payable and accounts. The first thing is for costing, we need accounts. Then all those accounts will be created by financials team. So we need not worry. We just need to know whether once we create the transaction, whether our transaction is getting costed. But we need to have some background. I will give you the background. What will happen in the transaction when we do this transaction? But we don't need to have AP knowledge, or for example, payables is for procurement and receivables is for orderment. We don't need that knowledge of financials.
Kumar, it's Monday to Saturday or Monday to Friday?
Monday
I want to correct
Friday.
actually. Yeah, but Kumar initially told Monday to Saturday, but it will be from Monday to Friday.
Kumar, I have a couple of questions. One is it going to be purely functional or techno-functional?
It will be purely functional. But even though functional, what is your expectation on technical?
So actually, I am a technical manager and also would like to understand technically how the data is flowing in procurement and SCM. First thing. And second is being a manager, when I go for the interviews, they ask me my domain. So if I say SCM, so what kind of questions they're expecting if I say I have worked on end-to-end